All right, if I can have everyone's attention here in the Media Center, we want to welcome everyone to Dover International Speedway. We are now joined by Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford. Joey, first of all, congratulations on your win last week at New Hampshire. And with that win, you've now clinched your spot in the contender round of the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Talk a little bit about what that win means and clinching your spot and here at Dover. You've had some success, but being here this weekend and moving on.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to get that win in my hometown or home area. We had a really big week leading up to that. We had a couple foundation events. We opened up an extension basically to the Connection, which is a homeless community up in Middletown, Connecticut. So that was a great week leading up into Loudon, and then topping it off with a win that was kind of a dream weekend I'll never forget. So excited about getting back here to Dover. Probably one of my favorite racetracks. It's such a neat place to get around. So looking forward to hitting the track in a little bit.
All right, we'll open it up for questions for Joey. We'll start up front with Claire.
Claire, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. When you signed the extension with Penske, did all the stuff from the past sort of fly through your mind that people have started to believe in you in times when you had to reach within yourself, pull it up, and now everybody's sort of on the Joey Logano train?
It's really nice because like you said, Claire, I've been through kind of the down parts of the sport, and then now I'm starting to obviously we won a few races this year, and it's been a lot of fun. So to be able to extend my relationship with Team Penske, that's a dream come true, right? It's been the last couple of years have been really good. I feel like I've found myself a home over there. I feel like this 22 team is awesome. It's a great team to work with, working with Todd and basically everyone at Team Penske, working with Brad. I feel like all that put together has been very successful. So it makes sense to try to prolong that as long as possible, and to be able to get this extension done and be able to focus in on the chase is good.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Jay, then come back up to Randy.
Jay Pennell with Fox Sports. You're still a young guy, but you look at how long you've been in this series and in this sport. Do you kind of feel like, even though you're only 24 years old, that you're kind of like a veteran in this series now, especially with the success that you've had this year?
I do, actually, which is really cool. That's a huge advantage that I have right now. That I'm 24 years old with 6 years of experience under my belt. That's awesome because no one else can say that right now. The rookies coming in aren't much younger than me. Some are the same age as me. So to be able to have that already, that's something special. Because if you look at the way the sport is, typically the peak of their career is, 6 to, 15 years into their career is usually when they're, they have that experience. Experience pays off in NASCAR racing more than the age does. So to be able to hit your peak at a younger age, possibly I can prolong my career at, with a lot more wins, a little bit longer. So all that hard work's paying off right now.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Randy.
It's Kansas City Star. What makes the Penske organization? What's clicking right now? As great as they were in other series, it took them a long time to finally win a cup in 12, and now all of a sudden you guys are doing so well. What is it about that organization that's been
there's a lot. You asked about what Team Penske, what makes them run well. It's the people, right? All the teams have 7 posts. All the teams have, wind tunnel time. All the teams have, sims. They all have this stuff, right? Everyone's got the same things, the same tools. It's the people that run the tools and operate them is where the difference is. And I think having that team chemistry between both race teams, the 2 and the 22, I think having it within the 22 team, all of us, the way we work together and the attitudes that we have when we get to the racetrack, I think we're all on the same page. I think that's important. When you have someone that's way over here and the other team's over here, or you guys are pulling apart from each other, that's a recipe for disaster, if you ask me. So making sure we all work well, and the people that we put in the right places and having the right people there is the biggest deal.
What about Mr. Penske? Can you talk about him a little bit? What's he meant to you, and what about his presence?
Rogers, I've gotten to know him for a couple of years now, and see how he operates, and basically everything you hear from the outside is true. The professionalism that he has, throughout all of racing, but all his businesses, the hard work, the ethic that he has to do that is amazing. So it's fun just to go around and listen to the things he's got going on. A lot of times, we start talking about some of the other business ventures he's in, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. 'Cause it's just so outside of my box, right? My box is right here, right, racing, and he's got so many other things going on, and to be able to multitask and do all the different things like that and do a good job at it, I know I wouldn't be able to do it, so I think it's pretty amazing.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Lee, then go to Dustin.
LeeSpencerMotorsport.com. Talk a little bit, you talk about the success at Penske and what makes them tick, but when you look at your relationship with Brad, you two are really teammates, and did you ever have that feeling when you were at Gibbs that you had earned the respect of Denny and Kyle while you were there, and it was as cohesive? Because there are times when I don't think the 11 and the 18 are on the same page, let alone all three, but the fact that you and Brad are so close, does that just enrich your potential there?
Yeah, like I was saying about teammates and stuff, and it's only, the two of us, right? So there's not like there's we don't get along. That's our whole team. It's all Team Penske not getting along, right? So we got to be able to make sure we have a good relationship and able to work great together. It's a very important thing that we need to do. Did I have that at Gibbs? That's your question. I did at times. Yeah, I did. I got along with him. But I think you talk about chemistry and being able to just communicate and being at the same level as the guys you're racing with on your team. I think that's important, and that's something maybe I didn't have as much over there. But I think they both were great teammates, just in different ways.
Okay, Dustin.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. Joey, you talked about how strong your team is, and obviously you've had a great season. You've had a strong run in the past in the chase, but from your point of view, what makes you the guy that can win the championship this year? Not because of your team, but what about you? What's different? What makes you feel you're prepared? I mean, obviously this is great that you won early. You're advancing to the next round, but everything ramps up and picks up. You haven't been in this position in this sense before. What makes you think this is your time?
A lot, and you're saying just me, but I'm not doing this on my own, and I think this team, the 22 team, has that same attitude. We all work together. I don't know if you're going to answer the question if it was just me, because we all got to be able to support each other one way or another. I do feel like I'm confident enough to do this. I feel like we're ready. I feel like as a team we've done what we need to do to get to this point to be able to have a shot at it right now. We got to keep plugging away to get all the way to Homestead. We got a long ways to go. We got to keep our heads down and keep booking along with it. But for me personally, I feel like my head's in the right spot. I feel like we've been attacking these weekends the right way. I feel like Todd and myself have been working together better than ever, and we need to keep doing that. And I think the whole 22 team's been doing it. So I know I can't do it on my own, and I know I have the guys behind me that they have the same attitude as me and want it just as bad as me. And that's why I feel like we got a good shot at it.
What do you have to do to pick it up and manage your teammates then? What's on your shoulders to help support your teammates, your crew?
My crew? Well, doing what we've been doing. I don't think there's anything that we need to change. We need to do what we do, right? What we've done throughout this year to get here has been good, right? We've had a lot of top 5 finishes. We got some wins now. That's been working. Don't reinvent the wheel now that you're in the chase, because it works. Maybe just more of the same thing. More working with your team as much as you can. Trying to find that little bit more when you're at the racetrack, whether it's spending more time with your team, trying to figure out the race car and thinking things a little bit deeper and trying to understand things a little bit more. It's just basically working harder. You think you're working as hard as you can, and then the chase starts and you're like, all right, there's got to be another level in me somewhere. And I think it's just digging down and finding that. And that's not just in the race. That's as soon as I get here at the racetrack throughout the whole week till we get to the next racetrack. That's how it has to be, I think, to win this championship. I think the guy that works the hardest is going to have a really good shot at it. Thanks.
Any additional questions for Joey? Okay, Kenny and then Kelly.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Joey, did you get a raise?
Did I get a raise? It was good.
Hey, Compare last year to this year. What's different about your team that you guys are able to get the wins this year compared to last year?
What's different?
Yeah.
A year of experience together. I look at what we did last year. We went through a lot of adversity last year, from really the beginning of the season all the way really to halfway point of the season. We had a lot of drama. We had a lot of new guys on the team. We had a new car chief, a new engineer, a new shop guy. We had a lot of new people there, new driver, obviously. So all of us gelling together, that took time to figure that out. It took some time for Todd and myself to understand each other and figure out what we needed at each racetrack. We had to go through that learning curve, and by the halfway point in the year, when we started going these racetracks the second time, we had a notebook. We were able to start running better, right? We weren't to the caliber we are right now, but we were running better. And we've gone into this season basically the same way, right? We've got a couple races under our belt now, and we're going into these things for the third, fourth time. And we're going, we're just going off our notebook. And I think our race cars have gotten faster too. I think Team Penske's done a great job on bringing some really fast race cars to the racetrack. And I think just the more we all understand each other, the more I'm able to understand what Brad wants in his car and why I can't run certain things that he's running, and that, you know what I mean, it just doesn't work for me. And understanding that difference between the two cars at each racetrack, all that stuff kind of put together, I think, is what made us run better this year compared to last.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Kelly. Raise your hand, Kelly. We'll get a mic to you.
Kelly Crandall from PopularSpeed.com. Joey, have you had a moment to sit and reflect on how different your life and your career has been from 3-4 years ago to searching for comfort, consistency, and now you're top 5, multiple wins in a season, and you're contending for a championship last year and this year?
To answer your question, no, I haven't had a minute to sit down and think about it, because I live in the moment. I just keep going with it. And, looking back at it it is cool, because, you look a few years back, only a couple years ago, I really didn't have a job. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh boy, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to race the rest of my life? What's plan B? And all of a sudden now, I'm sitting in a good position. I got multi-year deal that I'm going to be racing for a while. I'm winning races. We got a lot of top 5s. If you told me all this was going to happen a couple years ago, I'd say, yeah, that's nice, but I don't know if that'll happen, but it sounds really good. And but that hard work's paying off now. Like you said, you talked about the experience that I got from all that, and I wouldn't trade any of that for the world. I love that I went through each and every experience that I've gone through, because it's what shaped me to who I am and made me the driver and the person that I am now. So I'm proud that I went through all of it. It was hard, but would I think that I'd be sitting here a couple years ago saying what I'm saying right now? Probably not. But I'm going to enjoy the ride while I can, that's for sure.
All right, we'll take final question, Bob.
Bob Pocker, Sporting News. Do you feel that, how much did your performance, you feel, this year kind of led to the contract extension? I mean, you had made the chase once. Were they waiting to see if you would make it again? And then also, just how much relief is it to know you're kind of set for 3 or 4 years and not have to stress over your future?
I'm sure, Roger and Walt, they probably, after last year, wanted to make sure that we ran well again this year, right? Because last year was kind of the first year that I kind of had that, some call it a breakout season. We were able to win a race and get in the chase, finish 8th in points. Like, okay, that's great. Let's see if we can do that again and make sure it's not like a one-year wonder, right? So I'm assuming this. I don't know this, but when they came to me earlier this year about it, I think that's as we were running well on the racetrack and things were going good, and I think he wanted to secure a lot of our partnerships and a lot of and just kind of make sure we have what we have for a long time, right? And keep that team together and making sure we're doing what we're doing. So I think at that point that was kind of the moment, and I was all about it. It didn't take much to convince me.
Joey, thank you very much for your time this morning, and congratulations again on your win, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys.